In this course, we are going to walk through two different YouTube videos in two different fields, and I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to create your keywords, titles, thumbnails, descriptions, and even community posts from these videos. If you want to get started with how to even create your content ideas or even your niche, I would check out my ChatGPT for content creators course first. That link will be in the class details. But if you've already gotten your content ideas, you have your YouTube video, and you're ready to get started on using ChatGPT to make the publishing process easier, let's dive into this course now. So once you have created your video, the next thing we want to do is really focus on what keyword should we be targeting for that video to perform well in the YouTube algorithm. So we're going to cover certain prompts that can help you figure out what keywords you want to focus on for that video. So one example is to just ask ChatGPT for certain keywords that people would search. So in my prompt, I told ChatGPT what I made a YouTube video about. In this example, it's to remove a strip screw. And then I said, can you suggest 10 keywords that people would search on YouTube for that would be good for my period to appear for? And the reason why I'm doing this instead of just saying, what are 10 good keywords, is whenever it's 10 good keywords, ChatGPT doesn't know that what you're really looking for is to SEO or even necessarily the best to SEO. So I specifically want keywords that people are going to type, and then I would be able to appear for that. So it gave me 10 keywords here: how to remove a strip screw, screw extractor tools, DIY screw removal, screwdriver tips and tricks, broken screw removal. These are things that people may be searching for that need to find your video on how to remove out a stripped screw. Now, you don't necessarily need to try and optimize for all of these, but I would say finding 3 to 5 really good ones that you want to optimize your video for is a good idea. Now, as a second example to be able to find your keywords, I'm going to use video captions. So for me, I use Descript to edit all of my videos, and that automatically gives me the captions for it. And I will leave a link to ChatGPT and Descript in the class details. So what I'm going to do is open a new chat. Every time you're talking about a new video, you want to open up a new chat so that it's not pulling the previous information into the new chat. And I'm going to ask it something very similar. So what you can see I did here is I literally just pasted in my caption from this particular video. And up at top, my prompt was, can you suggest 10 keywords that people would search for on YouTube that the below video captions would be a good search result for? So what I got is this particular video is about 4 tools that you can use to find research articles if you're a researcher. And so I got research article software. These are the 4 tools I talk about: organizing research articles, literature review tools, citation management tools, and even efficient research techniques. Again, these are really good ideas for things that I could be using in my video title, my video description, all of those things to help it rank in search. So now that we have our main keywords, we're going to jump over and start working on our titles. Now we're going to come back talking about the video of removing a strip screw. So for this one, I haven't actually created this video, so I'm not going to be able to give it video captions or anything like that. So this is going to be our one with us just giving it information. And then our other video about research tools is going to be our one for if we actually have video captions to use. So I'm now just simply going to ask it to suggest some titles that I could use for this video. So because in a ChatGPT can remember everything above, all I have to do is tell it to suggest 4 titles for this video, because it now remembers the previous information you've given it. And if you need to move to a previous chat, you can always look on your left-hand panel and go to the specific chat you're interested in. So you can see here that it gave me 4 different versions for this title: how to remove a strip screw removal, the ultimate guide to removing strip screws, and save your project, how to remove a strip screw in seconds. So you can see that 3 of these titles have very similar structure. It has a kind of initial title and then a colon and then a subtitle included in it, which can be really helpful to use. You may want to have different kind of fields for this title. A better way to ask it for titles is to ask it to create specific versions, but then tell it what those versions are. So for this prompt, instead of asking it for 4 specific titles, I asked it for 4 lists of titles, and each list should contain 4 titles. So ultimately, I'm getting 16 titles from this prompt. And then I tell it specifically for each list, what should those titles include, or how should they be formatted. To create your sentences on different lines, just hold Shift, Enter, and then you'll actually create a new line instead of sending the prompt into ChatGPT. So I said for the first list, please include titles in a listicle format. So I got things like 10 hacks, 5 tools, 7 common mistakes, and 3 creative solutions. Now, you may have created 1 video on this, but now looking at this, you might think, oh, I could make these 4 different videos. So you can also maybe come up with some ideas for your next video. But you can kind of figure out what's the best one that kind of works for you. For the second one, I said, please make titles that feel urgent and target the audience emotions. So don't let a strip screw ruin your DIY project. The shocking truth about strip screws and how to fix them. Time is running out. Quickly remove strip screws with these tips, and you won't believe what happened when we tried removing a strip screw. All of these, you can almost see common like templates if you watch YouTube videos of other people who use these to play on your emotions to get you to watch the video because you feel like everything's going to fall apart and it's really an emotional reaction instead of a logical reaction to the video. Now with how-tos are really great for appearing in search. And so you can say how to remove a strip screw with household items. I would probably watch that video. How to remove a strip screw in seconds, how to remove a strip screw without damaging your material, and how to remove a strip screw like a pro. Obviously, these are also similar ones to what would probably be that you would find on YouTube, and it goes past just how to remove a strip screw. And then the final one is serious and to the point, just like give me the goodies, the ultimate guide to removing the strip screw. So that's similar to the one up here that they gave us before. DIY 101, how to remove a strip screw removal, what you need to know, and the do's and don'ts of removing a strip screw. Now, you could probably get another 5 to 7 video ideas just from these titles, but now you have a way of saying, okay, which of these titles really fits the video that I created? And if you like multiple of these titles, you can actually ask it to combine them together. So let's say we really liked number 4 and this one up here, number 1. So I'm going to copy them and I'm going to say, so I just asked it to combine these 2 titles and copied and paste it. You could try to say number 4 from serious and to the point and number 1 from urgent and emotionally targeted. And sometimes ChatGPT does a good job of this and sometimes it really doesn't. So now it says the do's and don'ts of removing strip screws. So it just combined it together, that like separated apart. And I want it instead to really combine the notions. So in this case, since the first thing it gave me wasn't really what I was looking for, I said instead of adding the 2 titles together, I would like one that combines the feel, because that's specifically what I'm looking for. And then I get this, expert tips to save your DIY project, the do's and don'ts of removing strip screws. And that kind of combines together these 2 titles here. So now as a separate example, let's jump over to our previous one where we actually had video captions. And I'm going to take that original, can you create 4 list of titles for this video and copy and paste it into here. So it generated, again, a list of 16 different titles that have 4 different versions. So we have a listicle, so 4 must-have software tools for efficient research. These 4 software tools will revolutionize your research project, maximize your research efficiency with these software tools, and game-changing software tools for a literature review. Urgent and emotional title, stop wasting time on research, revolutionize your research process. Don't let inefficient research hold you back, and save time and increase productivity with these tools, right? These are meant to make someone feel emotional and feel like they're missing out. How-to titles. So these three are the specific softwares that I cover. And it's actually, these are probably 3 different videos that I should make, and not necessarily titles for this one, but this last one, how to streamline your research process with these 4 tools, would be a good title for this specific video. And then serious and to the point, software tools for research efficiency, maximize your research potential, organize your research like a pro, and efficient research made easy. So again, you're getting a lot of different fields, and you can kind of look at what title actually feels right and which one should you use. So once you choose a title, we're going to move on to let ChatGPT create our descriptions, because we know none of us really want to be creating those descriptions. So in this lesson, we're talking about how to now create our descriptions. And I have gone back to removing a stripped screw to start with this example first. And you can start with the very basics of just asking it to create a description. So it generated a really quick description for me. Are stripped screws derailing your DIY projects? Don't let them. In this video, we'll show you expert tips and tricks for removing them. From household items to specialized tools, we'll cover everything you need to know, learns the do's and don'ts. And whether you're working with any of these, we've got you covered. So you're probably going to need to edit whatever description it gives you to make sure that you're actually talking about those things within your video. If you're not talking about wood, metal, and plastic, don't include this sentence in there, right? But this is really just the start of where you want to start with your description. Now, we asked for the potential keywords up here. So I'm now going to copy some of these. So what I did is I asked, can you rewrite this description, making sure it's likely to appear in search results for the below keywords? So then I copied those keywords from above, removed a couple that I didn't want it to optimize for, and it rewrote a description. Looking for tips on how to remove a stripped screw. Whether you're a DIY enthusiast or seasoned pro, dealing with stripped screws can be frustrating. In this video, we'll show you a variety of screw extractor tools. So it pulled in that keyword there. DIY screw removal method, so it's pulling in that keyword there. And stripped screw hacks that you can use to remove stubborn screws in no time. Learn screwdriver tips and tricks that will make the process much easier, and discover how to remove screws without power tools. We'll even cover stripped screw repair and removing rusted screws. So this is now making sure that you're including those keywords in, where this one didn't have, it had stripped screw and stripped screw removal, but it didn't have a lot of the other keywords that we wanted to focus on. Now, personally for me, I generally have a 1-sentence description, and then I have a longer description after I have the different links that were covered in the video. So I'm going to ask it to do the same thing. So I'm asking it to create a 1-sentence description, and this is basically what's going to go in the very first sentence of my description box. And this allows for someone who's looking at my video through search, they're going to be able to see this 1-sentence description. So say goodbye to stripped screws and hello to DIY success with our expert tips and tricks. Learn how to remove it easily with household items, specialized tools, and pro techniques. So if I'm going to go to YouTube real quick, I'm going to come in here and put in stripped screw. So you can see that you get a little sentence here of the first sentence of the description. So that's about as long as probably maybe this part. So I might ask it to make it even smaller. So that section was about 87 characters. So I'm going to ask it to make it small enough that it's in 87 characters. So I'm now asking it to rewrite the sentence so that it's 87 characters long. This will make sure that it does, the entire thing will appear in that description section under the videos when people search for it. And so now if we take this little section here, we can see, is it actually, so this is actually 145 characters long. So if we take out that part, we get 118. So we know that at least the very first part is going to show up, but the entire thing is actually not going to show up. So it didn't do a great job with that here. So now we're going to jump over to our other video example on research tools. And because we actually have video captions here, this is going to go a little bit differently. So I've given it, basically asked the same thing I asked before. Can you please write a YouTube video description that will help it appear in search for the keywords below? And I pulled those keywords again from this keyword research it did up here. But now that it has so much more going on in it, you're going to see that you're going to get much longer descriptions if you give it the video captions instead of just giving it what the video is about. So you can see it's talking about the different tools that I cover, and it can, because I talked about those tools in the videos, it knows what to suggest for those tools, and it includes those in here. This part is a promotion that I had in my video and a bonus tool, and then it's optimizing for some of the other tools down here as well. So now I'm going to ask it to give us that one sentence version. So I'm asking it now, can you suggest a one sentence description of the video that will get people to click on it? And now I'm specifying it a little bit more than last time. It cannot be more than 87 characters long, including spaces. So officially organize your research articles with these 4 free tools. I'm going to copy this and just check it real quick. So you can see this is 77 characters long. This prompt actually did get it to meet that limit so that you can have a really good hook, basically, that not only the title and thumbnail, but also that first sentence of your description can also help you to get people to actually click on your video. Now that we have our description, we're going to jump over to thumbnails and how we can use ChatGPT for our thumbnails. So now we want to work on our thumbnail, and obviously ChatGPT is a chatbot. It's a language model. It is not made for images. So how can ChatGPT really help us with our thumbnail? And if we just ask it to create a thumbnail, it's not going to do a good job. So here we see it tells us just kind of a few images or something like that to use. And if we know on YouTube, this probably isn't the best way to do it. So instead, I'm going to ask it to generate a couple tables with different elements that we would want in our thumbnails. So instead, what I'm asking it is, can it create 3 different tables with information about 4 YouTube thumbnail ideas each for this video? So you can see here, it's saying thumbnail idea, background image, and text overlay is the first one. So I simply asked it to include an idea for the background image and 3 to 5 words that would be overlaid. So a frustrated hand holding a strip screw with the words removing strip screws or no more strip screws. The second table that I asked it for is more of the typical thumbnail where you have a background color and then you have the creator on it and some text. And so this says something like a light blue background color with a close-up of the creator's face and says expert screw removal tips, or the creator holding a strip screw that says solving strip screw nightmares. And then the final one is a solid background, a creator image, an overlay image, and a text overlay. So if you had like a gray background color, a creator holding the screwdriver, a close-up of a strip screw, so you'd have like the creator holding a screwdriver, then next to it would be a close-up of a strip screw, and then say goodbye to strip screws. Personally, I'm not creating these 4 different ideas so that I'm going to go straight across and say, yeah, I want this, then this, then this, then this. I'm doing this so that it gives me all types of potential ideas for creator image, overlay images, and text image, and even just background images so that I can think through what might be the best thumbnail idea for this particular video. So now what I'm going to do is show you how to do the same thing whenever you have video captions. So I'm just going to copy this same prompt up here, and I'm going to go over into my other video and paste it in. Now remember, because this one has video captions, it has a lot more things than just the description of the video to go off of. So it might be able to include things like the different tools that I'm actually using and things like that that couldn't be included before. So you can see, like for here in an example, it includes icons of these things. which for what I actually did, I had a creator image, me holding up the number 4. I included icons of these things. And then I think I said like literature review tools or something like that. So this is a way that you can figure out what's an overlay text that might be helpful, what's a creator image, so just a smiling face, maybe holding a laptop, pointing at a camera, reading a book, writing, working on a computer, posing with a research book. It's a lot of different ideas that you could have if you're just stuck on what you actually want to create. And then you can even do it with just a background, like a stock background photo with text on top too, if that's more of your style. Once you take your thumbnail idea and create it, you've done all the things that you need to do to actually upload your video and most likely get it to appear in search. So the next lesson we're going to cover is actually how to take your video and then create community posts that promote it and help grow your channel that way. So now that we have our video, it's ready to go live, let's talk about community posts. So if you don't know, on YouTube, you have community posts where you can post things like polls, images, even posts that you can attach your video to promote your video out. So now, whenever we're dealing with the video idea about removing strip screws, we can now have ChatGPT create some community posts for us. So I created a prompt that said, can you suggest 5 YouTube community posts to promote this video? 2 are going to be polls. So this allows us to poll our audience. So it gave us something like, what's your go-to tool for removing strip screws? And there's some options there. And have you ever accidentally stripped a screw while doing a DIY project? Some more options. So these could be good as like before you actually create the video, maybe doing this one, and then you can even talk about the answers to the poll in your video, or even before, after you've launched the video, you can do this one. And then when people respond, you can always have a comment that says, go check out this video. And then the other 3 are announcements. And so these are just going to be text that includes a link to the video within that. So attention DIY enthusiasts, if you ever struggled with removing a strip screw, this video is for you. Learn our expert tips and tricks for removing strip screws without damaging your project. Strip screws ruining your DIY projects. Check out our latest video to learn the best screw removal hacks. And are you tired of struggling with stripped screws? Our latest video is here to help. Watch now to learn how to remove strip screws with ease. Now, I asked it to provide me 3, but I don't actually plan on using these 3. So I would maybe pick 1 to 2, depending on your specific audience, and then have one go live when the video goes live, and maybe another one go live about 12 hours later. So it's something new in their feed, even if they are like get on YouTube 12 hours afterwards or something like that. I wouldn't have a ton of announcement posts within your community posts just promoting the videos, because that's also getting put onto your subscribers' feeds and stuff like that. So that is how you can do it. Get some ideas for community posts to help you promote, and community posts have also been known to have organic reach. So they reach people who are not just your actual subscribers. So especially polls where people want to give their answers can actually get around and get you more subscribers. Now, I want to do something similar for this research software recommendations video, but it's going to be a little bit different because we actually still have the video captions in here. So I can actually have it pull quotes and other things that may be helpful to my audience, even if they don't watch the video. I don't want to do that for my removing strip screws, because then it's going to give me generic quotes and not specific things that I would say are related to my experiences. So here I did something similar to before. So I said, can you create 10 YouTube community posts? 2 are going to be polls, so similar to before. I'd like 2 to be announcements. And then the last one I said is I would like 6 to be quick lessons or tips that I cover in the video. So this is a little bit different because it's actually taking some of the information from my video and allowing them to find it without ever clicking on my video. So I get options like poll, what's your favorite research organization tool? Vote now. Zotero, Notion, Research Rapid, and Elicit. Those were the 4 I covered in my video. Announcement, discover the most efficient research techniques with my latest video. Click here to watch now. Quick tip, don't waste time organizing research articles. Learn how to use software to streamline your process. That's a really, really quick tip, how to use a citation manager to simplify your literature review process. Watch now to learn more. Not relevant, right, to exactly what I'm saying. So whenever I'm doing this, I'm always asking for more than I actually want to use because I know it's not going to give me exactly what I want. So what I would probably do from this is use 1 poll, 1 announcement, and then maybe 2 to 3 of the quick tips, quick lessons. So this is, again, how to use Zotero citation feature to effortlessly create. So like that is like more of a question. I need to actually tell them how. Maximize your research productivity with Notion's powerful note-taking and organization features. That's a pretty good one. Learn how to use, so again, I would instead say you can use Research Rapid to quickly find and organize relevant research articles for your lit review. So you may have to change how some of these are phrased to really make them make sense as a community post that's actually giving value to people. And then in your first comment or so, you can always then state, if you're having issues with this, watch this new video on this. So overall, you can use ChatGPT to take your video and expand it out so that it's just auto-creating basically different community posts for you, different descriptions, your titles, thumbnail ideas, and even the keywords you want to rank for that video to help you hopefully create more videos and with less effort. So now you can use ChatGPT to create these community posts, and you can even ask it for more or less community posts based on what you're actually interested in. Thank you so much for watching this course, and I really hope that you're now able to use ChatGPT for your project, which is basically using it to create all of these things for one of your own YouTube videos. If you enjoyed this course, it would really help me out if you would leave me a review below to let other people know how this course is doing. And if you want to go further, you can always check out my ChatGPT for Content Creators course. This course is specifically going to help you figure out your niche and actually create out your content and your content buckets. We create out a year's worth of content in that course. And I will leave the link to that course in the class details below. The other courses that might be helpful are my Notion for Content Creators course and Notion for YouTube. If you want to organize this information within a system, you can check out those courses that will also be in the class description below. I really hope you enjoyed this course, and if you wouldn't mind, take a few minutes to leave me a review below. So once you have created your video, the next thing we want to do is really focus on what keyword should we be targeting for that video to perform well in the YouTube algorithm. So we're going to cover certain prompts that can help you figure out what keywords you want to focus on for that video. So one example is to just ask ChatGPT for certain keywords that people would search. So in my prompt, I told ChatGPT what I made a YouTube video about. In this example, it's to remove a strip screw. And then I said, can you suggest 10 keywords that people would search on YouTube for that would be good for my period to appear for? And the reason why I'm doing this instead of just saying, what are 10 good keywords, is whenever it's 10 good keywords, ChatGPT doesn't know that what you're really looking for is to SEO or even necessarily the best to SEO. So I specifically want keywords that people are going to type, and then I would be able to appear for that. So it gave me 10 keywords here: how to remove a strip screw, screw extractor tools, DIY screw removal, screwdriver tips and tricks, broken screw removal. These are things that people may be searching for that need to find your video on how to remove out a stripped screw. Now, you don't necessarily need to try and optimize for all of these, but I would say finding 3 to 5 really good ones that you want to optimize your video for is a good idea. Now, as a second example to be able to find your keywords, I'm going to use video captions. So for me, I use Descript to edit all of my videos, and that automatically gives me the captions for it. And I will leave a link to ChatGPT and Descript in the class details. So what I'm going to do is open a new chat. Every time you're talking about a new video, you want to open up a new chat so that it's not pulling the previous information into the new chat. And I'm going to ask it something very similar. So what you can see I did here is I literally just pasted in my caption from this particular video. And up at top, my prompt was, can you suggest 10 keywords that people would search for on YouTube that the below video captions would be a good search result for? So what I got is this particular video is about 4 tools that you can use to find research articles if you're a researcher. And so I got research article software. These are the 4 tools I talk about: organizing research articles, literature review tools, citation management tools, and even efficient research techniques. Again, these are really good ideas for things that I could be using in my video title, my video description, all of those things to help it rank in search. So now that we have our main keywords, we're going to jump over and start working on our titles.